Welcome to ChiroSecure's weekly show, Chiropractic, Connecting People and Communities, with this week's host, Dr. Walter Sanchez. As Dr. Walter says, and I quote, I fall in love with innate and chiropractic, and my life turned into golden possibilities to contribute with my community and the world. And now, here's Dr. Walter.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Dr. Stu and Caro Secure for facilitating this show, which hopefully is reaching everywhere with the facilitation of the internet. I'm so happy to be your host today, and today's show has to do with who should we serve in our practice, and what I just want you to know is that it's all about service. Chiropractic is a service that we must render to whole humanity. Okay, and I've been practicing chiropractic since 1983. I've been serving my community. I've been serving also other countries. And the reason of this show today is more than anything is that we must maintain our vision, mission, and purpose in alignment. When I talk about vision, because there is a place for us on what's going on in the world right now. And unless we know what we are and who we are, we play in small. I just want you to know that it happens that this year is going to be the best year that I ever had in every which way, financially, service wise, in everything. I mean, we're so blessed to be able to be where we are, to be able to serve so many people. And it's all based on service. So, what is our service? What is our chiropractic service? Our chiropractic service is not just the art, which is the adjustment, okay? It is not just our communication on the science, but it's also our philosophy. We have a very peculiar philosophy that is very different to what's going on with the world right now. See, our philosophy we should be teaching everybody that the answer is inside. We should be teaching everybody that inside every one of them and us, there is an innate intelligence. Okay, there is a force within you that is in charge of what's going on from the inside and out. Okay, now the first chiropractor, and the reason why we're still here is because the first chiropractors they had a vision, and they had a vision of the far. We learn about the vision of the far by from D.D. Palmer, B.J. Palmer, okay, Dr. Sid Williams, my mentor, okay, Dr. Sigafus. Okay, they were talking about the vision of the far as different than the illusion of the near. See, the illusion of the near is gonna disappear, always like this. But the vision of the far, if it's based on principle, it will forever live. And it's for us to carry that torch. So we standing on the shoulders of these chiropractors that they had the vision of the far, that they fought the fight and they won. So it's for us to start spreading our vision, into our mission. When I became a chiropractor, I was fortunate to serve on the program called Life Around the World. It was created by Dr. Sid Williams because he had the vision of the fire. He saw that every person in the world needed to have chiropractic care. And look, I mean, there's 7 billion people, and we need to start one spine at a time somewhere. So I remember going into missions to credit chiropractic and legalize chiropractic into Costa Rica, Honduras, Peru, and different countries. It was virgin back then, I'm talking about in the 80s. But look at what happened now. Now we are in 2021 and we have chiropractors all over the world. Okay, we have chiropractors everywhere. We got programs of chiropractic in different countries, Mexico, vision of, but we have to maintain our vision, okay, and our identity. Because if we lose our identity, it can happen the same thing that happened to the osteopaths, that they don't know who they are anymore because they lost their philosophy, they lost who they were. So now, okay, now the thing is, when I say that chiropractic is a philosophy, it's a way of being, it's a way of living. I'm not judging anybody, but we understand that health can only come from one place, from the inside out. That's our truth. Don't mix it with anything else. Okay. And in all these years that I've been in practice, I'm a living testimonial of what can, if we teach these principles into the world, what can happen. For example, 27 years ago, April 4th, which it was Sunday, we founded the first chiropractic center in Peru, along with Dr. Raymond Page. Just graduated, Raymond Page was just graduating from chiropractic school at Life College. And, and in a conversation that we had when he returned to Miami, I told him about my dream is to bring a mission of chiropractic to Peru, but I never did. So he bought my dream. He said, Walter, I'm ready. If you sponsor me, if you help me, I can live that dream. In our next show, next month, I'm hoping to have him in this show to tell you how was our experience to bring chiropractic to a virgin place where they didn't know anything about chiropractic. But anyway, Sunday was 27 years ago that we founded the first chiropractic center. So now is the happy birthday of chiropractic in Peru, right? 27 years ago. And it's true, you never know how far reaching something you might think, say, or do will affect millions of people tomorrow. Okay? And when we created the first chiropractic office, it was just to have a place so we can start serving the people in Peru, my original country. And also, I mean, it was a way for me to start bringing new chiropractors to Peru. 27 years now, there are over 60 chiropractors in Peru, and it keeps growing. Okay, why? There is a vision, the vision of the far. And not only that, but the World Federation of Chiropractic has a brand new president this year, and it's a Peruvian doctor, Dr. Carlos Ayres. So if you're listening to this show, I want to congratulate you. Okay, he's the first Peruvian president on that organization. Now, look at how big it is. The World Federation of Chiropractic, it has a link. So they're part of the World Health Organization, and and is recognized, I guess, by the World uh, ONU nations, uh, the World Health Organizations, and the what is this? Uh, the association of all the countries. So these people, they have, when they need to know anything about chiropractic, they're gonna contact them. But guess what? We need some soldiers. We need to start teaching and don't back down about who we are and what we can bring into the table. Science, technology, it keeps proving every day more and more about our philosophy. So actually, technology is going to meet our philosophy, which is what? There is an innate intelligence. There is wisdom within every one of us. And our truth is that that nervous system, when it's stressed by a subluxation, it's going to reduce your potential for adaptability, for health, for being alive. And where do we come in this? You know, we are the only ones trained to detect, analyze, and adjust vertebral subluxations. And it's up to the body to get well. Look at how big is our job. Okay. And, but yet, no, I mean, we got to keep on coming up with this truth. People don't know about it. Okay. I have to, there's only one thing that I like about, one thing that I observe of what's going on in the world right now, and it's the vision that these freaking pharmaceutical companies have, which is to put up, you know, an experiment and everybody's buying it. Why are they buying it? Because they haven't learned about the truth. They haven't learned that their body's smart. They haven't learned that there is an innate intelligence. They haven't learned that symptoms are your friends. You don't have to fight them. You must find the interference, remove it, and leave the body alone, and you get well. And I'm a living testimonial on that. So it's up to us to bring this story forward. You guys, everybody should be busy right now doing it. When we were in Peru, okay, like everything else, we were attacked by the Peruvian Medical Association, by the Peruvian Health Association. Why? Because they're, you know, just like what happening here, you know, the idea is that we're practicing medicine without a license, but we were not. We were illegally. You know, what we did is we find out a good lawyer who wrote a nice minuta, they call it. It's a declaration of what kind of business we had, you know, that it showed that we were there to teach the philosophy, which doing it every day, every night at 7 o'clock, we have an orientation, a lay lecture, okay? We practice the art, which was the adjustment, okay? So we were teaching them chiropractic. And guess what? Then little by little, they start coming in as practice members, as patients. I remember adjusting the vice president of Peru, the president of Peru, the whole entire soccer team, the soccer stars. I mean, same thing with Dr. Raymond and all the chiropractors that came after him at our center. Why? Because we had we had a principle to go with. We had the truth, you know, and still it's going to keep growing. But again, you know, you guys have an enormous responsibility, you know, in to bring our truth to our people. So when we're talking about who should we service in our practice, everyone needs chiropractic care, especially now with all the stress that the people had. They need to, I mean, it's amazing. You start checking, we start adjusting them, you know, and then they feel the love. You don't waste their time, you don't waste your time, and guess what's going to happen? They're going to keep bringing more people, more family, you know, and we don't even advertise, okay? But it's word of mouth, and I tell you, you come in watching our offices every day is organized. We have an organized crisis, which I love it, you know, and we just keep giving them the chiropractic and the chiropractic story and our love in our, you know, with all we have, you know. So we have, you know, we have a big place to fail right now in these important times. Okay. And the same thing should happen everywhere in the world. Like I say, 7 billion people, you shouldn't be lacking anything. We have abundance of patients and they're all waiting for somebody. But guess what? You know, there's so many chiropractors, but they need to have what Dr. C used to call the dynamic essential. Okay, you can have skills, you can have talent, okay, but if you don't practice with the dynamic essential, you're in trouble. Why? Because by having a skill and talents is not enough. Your dynamic essential is what allows you to keep your mind out of drifting. Okay? And our minds can be drifting. And they're drifting, you're gonna be pulled over. You're gonna be pulled over. Why? Because the war is so strong out there. So you must learn about the dynamic essential. I was fortunate and I haven't stopped going to DE meetings, dynamic essential meetings. As a matter of fact, we have one coming up in 2 weeks in Clearwater. And I invite you, everyone, to come in. You guys need to be deep into the dynamic essential. The dynamic essential is once you start dipping yourself with the dynamic essential, you're gonna understand that you're not working anymore. You just go to your office and you love it. You have fun, okay? And you're always gonna have more than enough, because you're being blessed. And that's the beautiful thing about chiropractic with the dynamic essential. And the dynamic essential is something spiritual. It's something that you have to take care of it. It's something that you have to protect it within you. Something that you have to feed it. Okay, and everyone has it, but not too many knows that they have it, and not too many know that they have to take care of it. But practicing with the dynamic essentials is what makes the practice totally in another level. In another level, to the point when you're driving home at the end of the day and you look back and you're just driving home, you're saying, wow, this is amazing. Just watching what's going on, in being the witness of this beautiful chiropractic that is in us. So it's something that, please take that invitation, you know, find out about lifede.com, speak to Catherine. If you haven't been at DE for a while, come. This is going to be one of the biggest DE ever in Clearwater, Florida, and deep into, just come and deep not only into the ocean, but also into the dynamic essentials. Dynamic essentials. Okay. Uh, Purpose. What's your purpose? When you have the dynamic essential, watch what happens. Everything changed. Everything changed. I have something to read today, which is very important. This is something that I read every morning. Okay, it's a declaration on the vision of the far. Listen to this. I am a chiropractor working with the science of the universe by turning on the life in men through the art of adjustment. I do not prescribe, treat, or diagnose conditions. I use only my hands. I work with that mysterious something which created my body from a cell at a time prescribed years ago. I was set in this body to experience that cosmic power which created me, which also moves the seas, rotates the earth, directs the heavens, gives lives, takes it away, is everything. And that power which is set the universe in motion and created me did not abandon me when I became free of the security of my earth mother's womb. It is still with me, protects me as it moves all forms toward their final predestined goal. It is not mine to educatedly ask why or where, but to innately live and live to help my fellow creatures. And with this chiropractic adjustment, I use all the power and energies moving this universe to allow my fellow creatures the chance to live free of disease, I wish nothing in return, only the chance to give. I give with the only thing I have, love. And I will love all by removing that which interferes with 100% life. I do not look to others for directions. I look within. I am a perfect expression of God, living 24 hours each day for others. I am a principled chiropractic. Yes, doctors, we serve that principle, and it's up to you to make a difference. To end the show, I want to tell you that next month hopefully we're going to have Dr. Raymond Page. So we're going to talk about experience.
Dr. Walter, I think you muted yourself. I think you might be muted right now. See if you can unmute. Oh. Okay, it looks like Dr. Walter has totally left the building. We'll give him a minute or two. If not, we'll just close out the show.